All right, so this tutorial is just to make the greeting for a JavaScript thing. I just want you to just do it just so you have done one. I'm just gonna do this. Really, you can actually just follow exactly what I'm doing, and then just change it to make it look better. Okay, sort of a mock greeting thing. Okay. Okay. So what I did is I already just kind of did this part because you know what this is. It's the same thing we always write. Okay. So there's nothing new here. I just called this JavaScript example. I'm going to call it welcome. Okay. We'll put exclamation point. Okay. So, but there's nothing new really there as far as any of that's concerned. Um, what I'm going to do is just say, I'm just going to make my thing here. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm just going to do an H1. And I'll just say welcome, and actually, you know what? We're gonna do that. I'm just gonna put the script right in there. We'll just get right to it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna link this to another script that's actually gonna have it in. So we're gonna go ahead and link this. So we're going to oh, actually, you know what I gotta do right off the bat. So I made this, but I'm actually gotta save this first. I'm gonna do file. I'm gonna make a new folder on my desktop here. So new folder. Hang on a second. Let me delete that so you can actually see it. So I'm just going to, let's see here. Let's exit out of that. And I'm going to move this over and I'm going to make a, there you go, new folder. And we're just going to call this welcome. Okay. And then inside of that folder, I'm just going to make the normal folders I normally make. So new folder, and we're going to call this my CSS, right? And I'll make another folder, a new folder, and we'll call it images, okay? And then the new one that we're doing, new folder, is JS for JavaScript, okay? So those are basically, so I have 3 folders in there, all right? So you got to have that folder structure, all right? So let's put this guy back, fit that nicely in that slot again, beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this first. So I'm gonna do Control-Shift-S or Control-S, and I'm gonna go right to my desktop, which is where I had it saved. And should be right down the bottom here, welcome, and I'm just going to call this welcome.html, and I'm going to hit save. Good. So now when I do my linking, it'll be a relative link and not an absolute link. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and write the script in here. So it's going to be a script. Okay. That's the keyword that you need, and then I got to source it. Okay. Oops, and the source is going to be it's going to be in the JS folder that we just made, and I'm just going to call this welcome time, okay, .js for JavaScript, okay, and boom, it's in the quotes. That's good. Now you can write type and then put in the type, but technically speaking, only JavaScript's the scripting language of HTML, so it doesn't actually need that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close this out. Oh, excuse me. All right, and we're gonna call that good. Okay, so now I'd want to do more as far as like the rest of this to make this look nicer. So like, you know, add CSS up in here. I'm just going to do embedded CSS, but you could do it up in here and do that. But right now, this is just going to put the script right where this is linked. The script runs where it's placed, okay? So I'm going to do is I'm going to do file. I'm going to do a new file. And I'm going to go ahead and just save this. Save as, just to get it like in position here. So I'm going to save it in the JavaScript. And then what did I call it? I called it, crap, what did I call it? Hang on a second. Welcome. I'm just going to copy it so that I know. I'm just going to copy the whole thing. Control C. All right, file, save as, JavaScript. I'll just do Control V and hit save. Okay, and now this thing knows that it's JavaScript. So first thing I like to do is comment what this is going to be. So I'll do this, and this is just this little paragraph. This will comment whole paragraphs. So I'm just going to say that this script move that out of the way. Script returns the messages a welcome sign with time of day, we'll say. Okay, and then I'm just going to do to end that is like that. Oops, not there, like that. Okay. All right, so the first thing I need to do is create a variable that's going to hold the date object. Okay, so this is one of those objects that's actually built into oops, sorry, that's supposed to be an asterisk. There we go. So this variable holds the date object. Okay. And good. So now notice I did just 2 slashes. That'll do 1 line. I only did this one up here just because it makes it look more important. I don't know. It doesn't actually matter. So we're going to do a variable that says variable, var. And we're going to call it today, this, so we know what today is. And then it's going to be new, and then date, okay, and parentheses, semicolon, okay. So date is actually the object. We're invoking a new object by using the new keyword here, or reserve word. All right, so then I'm going to do variable hour. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So this next one, I was going to comment it first. We're going to declare, declare a variable that holds the hourly information. Okay, so variable. It's always good to comment because that way when people read it, they know what you're trying to do. Now I'm obviously commenting probably even more than you really need to. Hour now, what the current hour is, and then it's going to be equal to today, because that's what is holding this date object. And then inside of that date object, there's a method called get hours. Oops, hours. Okay, and we're not. We have no arguments to that. We just want the hours. So so this is dot notation. So basically, the today object, we took date and put it inside of today. Okay, and then this object now has different methods and variables and all sorts of stuff in it. So in this case, one of the methods that's built into it, and this is one that just is part of JavaScript, is get hour. So it can find the current time. Okay. Now we're going to do another variable. This variable holds the text to send the greeting. Okay, and that'll be great. All right. All right, and so that's just going to be variable, and it's going to be greeting. Beauteous. Okay, so because there's nothing in it yet, we're going to put something in it. Okay. Now this section, so that's all of our variables. The next section is going to be the actual kind of like code that's going to do stuff. So we're going to say this section checks the current hour and then displays the correct greeting. Okay. All right. So first we're going to say if the hour now, okay, so that's, oops, hour now, if hour now, and actually you don't have to put a space in there, it'll work either way, but I'm just going to take it out just in case. If hour now is greater than 18, it's what do you call it? Army time, so out of 24. So if it's greater than 18, oops, I don't know why I put that there. So we're saying if this is true, all right, so if it's greater than 18, then the greeting, all right, is going to be equal to good evening. Okay, beauteous, and then we just have to semicolon that out. All right, and we'll do an exclamation point to make it friendly. All right, and then we just gotta block that in. So delete. All right. Good. Okay. So basically, if this is true, it's going to run this block of code, which currently inside the code is just this. It's just going to set that variable greeting. It's going to assign it a value. It's going to make it a string, a value of good evening. Okay, and then we're just going to do one for each one of them. So then we're going to say if our now is greater than noon, okay, so 12, all right, then it's going to do this block of code. And we're going to set the greeting equal to one of these, good afternoon. Okay, beauteous, good. And I'll do another one. If our now is greater than 0, okay, which it would be, it will do, oh, you know what? These should be else if, sorry, because it'll say if and then else if this, else if that. So it's going to test this one first. If that's not true, then it's going to see if this one's true. If that's not true, then it's going to do if this one's true. So our now, and then they're going to change the greeting to equal, let's do that, good morning. Good morning. Oh, I didn't put exclamation points in here. Apparently. Good. And put the semicolon on the end, and that is looking good. Else, and this is just a catch-all. If for some reason it's not working, I don't have to have, because it's the last thing, so it's saying if this, if that's not true, then else if this. If that's not true, else if this. And if that's not true, well, else it's got to be this. So we don't actually have to put any arguments in there. Because it doesn't need that. So greeting is just going to be equal to welcome. Okay. Really, that should never have to run, but just on the off chance. Okay. And then this last bit here is going to actually insert the, so this inserts the text. Okay. Into the DOM, document object thing. So document object model. All right. So document dot write. Okay. And then we're gonna put we're gonna make it an h3. And actually, I gotta put the tag in there. Okay. h3. So plus. These are the parts that are going in there. The greeting. Okay, plus another h3, like that, and boom. Okay, and then we're just gonna control S, and I'm gonna make sure that this also has a control S, and then when I try to open this up, okay, we'll do a welcome. Oh, it went over here, but you can see it says good evening, because right now it is 9:30. So there you go. All right. Now, if I open up in the morning, it'll say good, morning and whatever. All right. But it does it based on the time. So what I want you to do is basically just run that exact thing. But I want you to stylize it to make it look nicer, like something maybe you would even be able to use on your actual site. And that's basically it. So good luck with that.